As George told you, I have a background as a former entrepreneur. I was 20 years in, surprise, surprise, locksmith business, 20 years. And I was also leading the European organization of 2001 through 2004, which was a very interesting time or period of my life. Then I was also involved in construction business for 8 years, so I got a little bit experience how the SME field in what kind of environment we work in. In 1996, I got involved in the local politics. I was asked to run as a candidate for the Finnish KD party, which is the Christian Democratic Party. And there were two reasons why I promised to go for the election. First of all, the debate about same-sex marriage started in Finland very actively in 1994. First, they were trying to force a bill for a law or a bill for partnership between same-sex persons. And the arguments what they used then was that they will never try to get same-sex marriage. This is just to get the juridical side solved. Then I already could see what could happen in the future. So this was one of the reasons why I chose to run as a candidate for the Finnish KD party. And the second reason was, of course, that the KD in Finland, especially some of the members in the parliament, were known as good friends of SMEs. So that was these two reasons why I got involved in the politics. Well, I worked on the local and regional level over 10 years, but then 2011 I got elected into the Finnish parliament and immediately also elected as the chair of our parliamentary group. We are in the government with a broad coalition. After last election we had some challenges to found a government, so the Prime Minister party had to ask 5 other parties, medium-sized and smaller parties, to join. So now we have a situation where there are parties from the very left to the very right. So then you can imagine when it comes, especially when it comes to question about Christian values, that we have a quite challenging situation. But we had one demand before we entered into the government, and this was namely that we don't accept that this government will bring forth any bill of same-sex marriage. And the Prime Minister gave us this promise, and until now he has kept it. But then we got another challenge and problem, since in our new constitution it is said that it allows citizens and organizations to collect names if they want some changes into the law. And then 2013 there was a huge group of people that were trying to collect over 50,000 names, which is set as a limit in the Constitution, and they got 167,000 names on their list to have a change in the law about same-sex marriage. Right now we are starting the hearing process next week, when I was supposed to be in Latvia. Thursday morning we will have the first hearing of the organization or organizations that were forcing this law. And since I'm the only member from our party, I must be there at the hearing process. And we still hope when it comes to the voting in the parliament, since now this is not a proposal from the government, it's a proposal from citizens, but we need to deal with it in the parliament, and we need to bring it for voting into the plenary. I read today a news article about the situation, and some predicted that it will be very, very tight. It's only up to 2 or 3 members of the 200 that will decide how it will work out. Of course, we hope that it should not work out. Our party is known as a very family-oriented party, and we already have a very strong image in this issue. And our program for these elections are mostly equal to the ECPM manifesto. The focus in my own campaign will, as you probably already guess, will be on SMEs. And I have already chosen a slogan for my campaign, which is Europe needs more entrepreneurs. A simple message. This is from my experience in the politics that, of course, we as politicians, we want to be experts in all the fields and we want to talk about all issues, but my recommendation to the other good candidates that we were listening to is try to focus on only 3 or 4 topics and go for these goals and visions, and you will be elected. Why am I running as a candidate for the European election? Of course, I had to ask this from myself before I gave a promise to be as a candidate, but there are 3 reasons. First of all, as a Christian, I see a great need to stand up for Christian values, as we heard also through all the other candidates today. Secondly, KD Finland is having right now one of the best MEPs in Europe. So, Lord willing, we will keep our seat, and I will do a personal good campaign, and I will also support all the other good candidates that we listened to here recently. Thank you.